Hi, I'm Hillary. Welcome to Teaching Moments. Today I wanted to go through with you and show you how to teach your kids how to spell sight words. Sight words are hard for a lot of kids to spell, but especially for those who have dyslexia, which all 4 of my kids do. So I'll also show you a tip on how to read them, but we're mainly going to focus on spelling. Now I have this tip in one of my videos that I've done already. It's about a year ago. I did one on the Barton reading setup and some tips. It's in that video, but if you haven't seen that, this is still worth taking a look at. Okay, so the Barton reading program that I use to teach my kids how to read and spell will give us some sight words for the kids to read and spell. And as they are reading them or spelling them, I will put a plus or minus sign to know which ones we need to go back and actually learn. So according to that, I'll keep that paper, especially this for the spelling ones. I'll keep the paper so that I know how they spelled the word in the first place. So my son had to spell the word pull, but he spelled it P-O-L-L. So what I do is I get an index card and I write with black letters until the first letter that they got wrong. And since he put an O instead of a U, I'll make the U in red, and then I'll continue writing in black. Now, with sight words, they can often get more than one letter wrong, but only take the first letter they got wrong and put that letter in red, okay? And then underneath it, you put a black dot under each one and an arrow. And what they need to do is they'll say they need to take their hand, whichever hand they write with. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand, use the index finger, and they'll put it on the desk like this, but I'm going to show you up here so you can see it. They'll say P-U-L-L, and when they get to the red letter, they need to emphasize that a little more so that it's a trigger in their head that we need to create a new pathway here. Let's spell this word right. So it's P-U-L-L, pull. And they'll do that twice. And then you take the back of a pen or a pencil and they will write it. We're getting muscle memory here. Write it as they say it out loud again. P-U-L-L, pull. Again, doing it twice. And then with the same hand that they write with, take 2 fingers and on the tape, so you put this card up towards the top of your table, and then you will put P-U-L-L, like you're writing it on the table, pull, and you do that twice. And then depending on whether they are right-handed or left-handed, if they're right-handed, they'll put out their right arm, and they will go up the right arm, P-U-L-L, pull. If they're left-handed, they go down the left arm, P-U-L-L, pull. Again, they do that twice. And then the tip that I saw was that they should write it in a notebook. I have a dry erase board, so it's always funner for the kids to write it on there. So we do that. Or if you want, you can have your kids write it on just a board like this. Of course, that was how he spelled it before. And that would be how he needs to spell it now. So a board like this would work well if you don't have a dry erase board, but they just need to write it on something. So that is how I get my kids to learn how to spell their sight words. And I only do one sight word at a time. And when you're going through this and you say, okay, spell the word pull, then they write it on the paper. If they get it right, they can get a check on the back of the card in the corner. Once they've gotten 3 checks, you can retire it into a retirement pile. Be sure to pull out that pile every once in a while and go through it again to make sure that they didn't forget anything. So I only do one spelling sight word at a time. But for reading, I'll do 3 to 5 sight word cards at a time, depending on the child and depending on the difficulty of the sight words. So, for example, my other son just got this sight word today for reading, and it's the word height. So they'll read the word, And then again, if they get it right, there's a check in the corner, 3 checks, and they get retired, and you get new words go down your list. But what they do to help them remember it is put a little clue down here, like a little clue word or picture. So he drew a little like measure ruler to think of height as in growing up height. So that's his clue. So I'll cover up the clue and I'll ask him the word. And if he knows it, then I'll give him a check mark. If he doesn't know it, or if he needed the clue word in order to get it, he doesn't get the check mark. But it does help him to remember it. All right, so that is how we do the reading sight words and spelling. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. And if you enjoy these videos and these tips, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.